Hey guys, this is Jeff, Swing Trade Warrior with WarriorTrading.com, back with the closed swing trade video recap for this week. This week was an enormous week for our swing trades. We had 3-4 trades that were all winners, and they were all 30-40% winners. So we're going to talk about those trades and how we found them and how we managed them once we were in them. And like I said, all of these trades that we're going to talk about are still running. So just some massive wins, a few home runs. Remember, we seek to get base hits, just like in baseball. Base hits win ball games, but every now and then, when the stars align, you'll get a home run, and that's what we had this week. It was like home run derby. So we'll get into it right now. The first trade I want to talk about is on NQ. We opened this position up last week. It hit my scanner on 526. 526 is right here. Let me zoom in here. Okay, so this hit the swing long scanner on 526. Put in a high relative volume move up through the 20 moving average here. And once it closed, I waited the next day to find an entry on it. The high of that candle was 385, so I gave it a few pennies and I got long at 388. We were long 388 in the trade. It never came against us at any point. From there, it ended up popping up over $4 all the way up to $4.25 within just a few hours, and we locked up partial part of our position on a 7% move there. Remember, we seek 5 to 10% wins. If we take more, then great. So we're trailing half our size using the stops on the way up. We didn't get any violations of a previous day low. And then after it flagged out on the large move up, took a short breather. We popped out and broke out again to 460, making a new breakout over this bull flag here. And we scaled out the rest of our position through 450 and 460. Now, having just put in a 20% move, I was more than happy to take my profit off the table. However, NQ wasn't done running yet. It gapped up the next day, and it ended up putting in an enormous move up to about 525, 530, and as of today, Friday, 2 days after we exited the trade, it hit 535. We were out of this trade at 450. Like I said, I was more than happy to take 70 cents profit on several thousand shares there. It was a very nice winner for us. But it is not done running yet. It's setting up with another bull flag here, and I expect we could see another breakout going on into next week. So keep your eye on NQ. It has been an enormous trade for us, and there are people in the chat room who took this trade that are still in it. So kudos to them. They out-traded me on it, and that's fine with me. I hope everybody was able to make some money on this trade. Very clean mover. All right, the second trade I want to talk about is on Direct Corp DRRX. We got long on this trade back on 526 also. On 525, it hit our swing long scanner. Let me pull that up here. Okay, so we got the alert on on Friday 522. Monday the market opened. 26th we took the trade. Tuesday we took the trade. This was on Memorial Day week. Sorry, I had to go back in time there. We got the alert on this high relative volume move and a test of this resistance area. That red line represents a TAS market box resistance area right at 244. I waited for 250 for that $0.50 mental psychological resistance area to fall. Got long right at 250 on the breakout, and it popped up that same day to 268. Over the next few days, continue to flag out and consolidate under that 268 mark, and we got a breakout over that. About 4 days later to about 280. The next day it broke out to 293. And as of today, Friday, it's up to 325. We scaled out along the way through this move with several thousand shares. We made a few $1,000s. And like I said, people in the chat room are still in this trade. They out-traded me again on it. And I was more than happy to take my profits after 10-15%. And it's now run 30+%. So another home run and another enormous trade in just a short amount of time. Came right off the small cap swing long scanner, and it was a great setup. And I had this on the watch list back in March. I'm going to put in a similar move over the $2 mark. So I was watching it this whole time while it was trading sideways here before it finally broke out. I gave up on it after about a week and a half of watching it fail that $2 mark, and then about 2 days after that it popped up here to 260. So after having seen all that happen, excuse me, this is the area right here. After having seen all that happen, it popped up to 260 and it sold off. Came back down to $2 support, and been waiting for it to reset up ever since then. And we finally got the setup right here last week, and we got long and we wrote it out perfectly. So you know, it's put in a pretty big move here. It's quite extended. I would wait for or expect to see some sort of sell-off or pullback, and I'm going to look for the same type of consolidation under a key resistance area, and then I'll look to trade this one again. One of the other trades we took this week, another massive winner, was on GALE. GALE Biopharma, or Galena Biopharma, gapped up back here on 527, and it put in a high at 165. Over the next few days, it tested that 165 high, consolidating just under that resistance level. We get a TAS box here, that red line. TAS box shows us resistance at that 165 level, so that's what we're looking at for a long entry. We see ascending volume here. We get long on the breakout right at 165 on June 2nd. Popped up that same day to about 174. The next day it popped up to 180. We started scaling out of the trade. We had 7,000 shares. We started scaling out some more on the move to $2 the next day, and we ended up closing all our position between $1.90 and $2. So again, another 20%, 15-20% winner for us. However, the next day, just like NQ and DRRX, this thing exploded and took off to 230. So what, about a 40% move here in 4 or 5 days? Just an enormous breakout. Yet another home run, and once again, I was out traded by some of my students in this, and that's fine. More than happy to take profits anywhere between 5 to 10%. So if we get a move 10 to 15, you bet I'm going to start scaling out. And you know, you can't really expect a 40% move, but when you get it, they sure are nice, and they sure do look good. I'm really looking forward to this one pulling back here. I'd like to see it come back under $2 and flag out and consolidate below that $2 mark and buy it for the next leg up. But for now, it's still breaking out. The volume is still increasing. 16 million shares today compared to only 5 million shares the day that we bought it. So buyers are definitely pouring into this. And another one of our great trades this week was on MR, Mindray Medical. This hit a different scanner. This was a 5-day mid-cap swing long scanner. We had this gap down post earnings. You can see earnings is back here on May 11th. We had a gap down after some bad results. It ended up bear flagging for quite a while, made some new lows here, and we got a consolidation in a very tight range, between $26 here and $27.90 or so. Finally started curling off the bottom and put in candle over candle confirmation, trend continuation. We got to this red resistance area here, which is what? That's the TAS market box showing us resistance based off of historical chart data. We got long on this trade at 27.53. I got it on a pullback, and I bought it on June 2nd also, which is right here. So after we got it, it popped up just under $28. The next day, it put in a red candle, didn't really test our stop, never came against us by about 15 cents, waiting for the next leg up over this resistance area. Fortunately, instead of being a slow trender that was going to move into the gap and back to $30, we ended up getting a bit of news that came out on a private bid offer for this company at $30 a share. So we saw a 2.5-point gap up on our 1,000 shares. I was looking to scale into this trade, so I had about 2,500 shares. However, because of the gap up, I chose to take profits at $30. So locked up 2.5 points on this trade on 1,000 shares in about 2 days. This was just fortunate timing more than anything, because they did catch that private bid for $30 a share. And this was the third trade that we closed this week, or excuse me, the fourth trade that we closed this week. We did open a trade on GoPro. We are swinging GoPro now. We entered this trade on Friday, June 5th. We got long on this trade at 59.20. right about there. So we got long on the trade at 59.20 with just a half size. Okay, I'm looking for it to hold this range here. I don't want it to drop below the 57.70 area, so that's my stop on the trade right now. But I'm looking at this breakout spot at 60.43. If we get that breakout spot, I think we'll see, let me zoom out here, I think we'll see a quick move up to $65 and then 70. Here's the $70 high of the range, and then here's the 65 resistance area, and in here somewhere. So we're looking for a breakout over $60, looking for a few points on the trade. I got in low because I want to average up on the trade at 60.50 or so, and I'll hold 1,000 shares with a 59, I don't know, about a 59.70, 59.80 average as we move towards 65. I like GoPro because it tends to trade on its own, not really connected to the S&P much, does its own thing, it'll buck the trend. And I think that since the SPY, pull up a SPY daily here, the SPY is showing signs of weakness. You know, I'm looking for short opportunities now for the next week, and I'm also looking for stocks that will trade, you know, counter trend. And we broke the 50 moving average, yesterday on the S&P. You can see that's this white line right here, and we got to close below it. And then today, of course, we stayed below the 50 moving average. It is a doji looking candle here. The next stop, if we don't get buyers coming into the S&P, the next stop could realistically be the 206 area, and then surely the 204 area, or somewhere around the 200 moving average. So keep an eye on the S&P next week. If it's not able to retake this 50 moving average, I think the broader markets will move lower. It'll cause some of the weaker stocks to sell off, and the rest of the market will just drift in the direction without some sort of catalyst in place. So look for your short opportunities next week if we're not able to reclaim the 50 moving average on the S&P. Look for move down to either 206 or so, or even farther down to the 204.50 area where the 200 EMA resides. Again, we locked up about $7,000 in profit this week on swing trades. We were 100%, even though the market was selling off. Excuse me. Even though the market was selling off, we still managed to nail some massive home runs. I think they were all 30% winners. So let's hope we can continue that trend next week. And I'll run the scans tonight, and I'll send out the watch list Sunday evening. And if you guys want to join us and be a part of this ride, www.warriortrading.com. Use the coupon code 15% off. You get 15% off your first month, and you guys will get access to all the trade alerts via text, chat, and email, as well as nightly watch lists sent out. And I put in my entry, my exit, my stops, my targets. I put all the relevant data and why I'm looking at the trades in every email and every alert. So you guys are never left in the dark chasing, and all our members have an opportunity to get into the trade at the same time I do, if not before me. So there's plenty of opportunity out there. It's all about narrowing it down and executing. If you guys have any questions about any of the trades we talked about, feel free to email me, jeff@warriortrading.com, or you can contact me on Skype at swingtradewarrior. Other than that, everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.